This right here is triggering. So let's tune on.
It's no ordinary warehouse. It's illegal. It is an illegal Chinese-run virus laboratory. Local and federal officials raided the facility. They discovered that it stored at least 20 infectious agents, including coronavirus, HIV, herpes, and malaria. But it was also genetically engineering mice.
What? Engineering genetically modified mice.
The lab was run under a company called Prestige Biotech. It was unlicensed 20 infectious agents, including coronavirus, HIV, herpes, and malaria. But it was also genetically engineering mice. The lab was run under a company called Prestige Biotech. It was unlicensed for business in California. And get this, if it were not for a garden hose sticking out of the building, the warehouse might not have been discovered. And now Chairman of the House Select Committee on China, Congressman Mike Gallagher, is calling the discovery of the lab troubling.
It's a Chinese lab. Diseases, mice. How many people were affected? Where was these mice going? What houses were these mice connected to? Were they sending the mice into the locals' houses? Was any of the locals? Tune in next time. No, seriously, this is real shit. Figure out what else is going on.
Wisconsin Republican and Chairman of the House Select Committee on China, Congressman Mike Gallagher, joins me. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good to be with you.
What was this lab for, and why did the Chinese own a lab in California?
That part.
Well, the reality is we don't know the full extent of the purpose or whether there are additional facilities like this in the United States. What we are seeing across the board, though, from the Chinese Communist Party is an all-out assault on American sovereignty. And it's not just the discovery of this lab. Obviously, we've seen the establishment of illegal police stations in the heart of Manhattan. We've seen troubling land purchases on behalf of Chinese entities near American military bases. We've seen continued cyber warfare against our infrastructure domestically. So across the board of Manhattan, we've seen troubling land purchases on behalf of Chinese entities near American military bases. We've seen continued cyber warfare against our infrastructure domestically. So across the board, the CCP is testing us. They're exploiting the loopholes in our system, and we're not doing enough to defend ourselves right now. We need to take steps to prevent this from happening. It's across the board, and the extent of Chinese spying and so-called United Front work is still poorly understood. This should teach us one thing above all else, that the China threat is not just a distant over there threat, it's a right here at home threat.
So, the media did not do this justice. They did not ease our pain at all. They didn't really tell us what was going on after this or nothing. We ain't get no update or nothing. And this happened 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, like 2023 or whatever. So let's actually go into what happened next, because we were lost on this. So we going into the FBI files. We gotta know what exactly the FBI said. You dig? So let's search through this real quick. We ain't gotta read all of it, because shit, look, it already looks like, click off of this video. He about to read all that. We ain't gonna do all that. But we about to go into at least see, we about to see if we get some juice out of this. You feel? So we're gonna start at the top. According to the recent reports, a Chinese company called Prestige Biotech. Prestige was operating a dangerous and unlicensed laboratory in Fresno County. We're gonna move on. We are committed to investigating the origin of COVID-19. We're gonna move on. March 10th, 2023, the city of Ridley, California applied a search warrant to investigate a property that belonged to an illegal and unlicensed. Yeah, we are. The city of Ridley, California applied a search warrant to investigate the property that believed to be an illegal and unlicensed laboratory. The city stated it appears that the owners and the occupants of the property may be using various dangerous chemicals and materials in the unpermitted laboratory activities in the locked portion of the structure that may pose serious health and safety risks. Okay. March 16th, 2023, various city and bureaus officially executed a search warrant and found several hundred mice that have been genetically modified to catch and carry the COVID-19. The mice were kept in dangerous and unsafe conditions. All right, we're gonna keep on going. What juice can we get out of this? Now, one thing is saying that. Now we got an illicit Chinese-owned lab, fueled conspiracy theories, but officially say is posed no danger. Let's dig into this. J.H., the only full-time code enforcement officer for the small agricultural city of Ridley in California Central Valley, was responding to a complaint about vehicles parked in a loaded dock and cold storage warehouse where she noticed a foul smell, and saw a garden hose snaking into the old building. A woman in a lab coat answered her. Knocked and behind her were two others in plastic gloves with blue surgical masks. This sounds like a movie. Packing pregnancy tests for shipping. Harper said they spoke broken English and told her that they were from China. Walking through the lab, she found dozens of refrigerators and ultra low temperature freezers hooked to illegal wiring, vials of blood in jars and urine in shelves and plastic containers, and about 1,000 white lab mice being kept in crowded soil containers. Oh, they going in on this one. You out of here, AP. No, I ain't paying for this. The woman said the owner lived in China, provided the phone number and the email address, and asked her to leave. Alarmed by what she saw, Harper, whose work mostly in the woman said that the owner lived in China, provided a phone number and email, and then asked her to leave. That don't sound like it was too dangerous or whatever for her. Because she, like, first of all, I would be alarmed. Anyway, alarmed by what she saw, Harper, whose work mostly entitled ensuring people have permits for yard sales and are keeping their lawns mowed, contracted Fresno County health officials and then the FBI. Oh, she wasn't playing no games. She was riding for America, though. I mean, shout out to Shorty. The discovery last December launched an investigation by the federal, state, and the local authorities, who found no criminal activity at the medical lab owned by Prestige Biotech, a company registered in Las Vegas, and no evidence or of a threat or a public health and national security. Nonetheless, it was just beginning of a case that was summer fueled fears, rumors, conspiracy theories online about China perpetually trying to engineer biologically what wow in Royal America. So, all right, hold on. So now this is starting to sound like, before I continue reading, now this is starting to sound like it's a plot to either hate on China or start the internal war ourselves with misinformation. Some people know about the story but haven't touched up. Some people know about the story but they didn't hear no update either. Or they don't know. Or do you believe this? Really? Like, no, they got rid of the evidence. Duh. Like, who the... Like, they gave her the number and everything and they got rid of all of that. But anyway, during a March inspection of the lab in Ridley, a city of about 25,000 people, some 200 miles southeast of San Francisco, officials did find officials did find infectious agents in the refrigerators, including E. coli, coronavirus, malaria, hepatitis, dengue, chlamydia, human hair. Oh, they just opened the refrigerator and there was a bunch of HIV just laying there. Like, this don't make no damn sense. But the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said there is no sign that the lab was illegally in possession of the materials and had agents and toxins that could be used as bioweapons. CDC has taken no further action in this matter. The agency said in an email to the Associated Press, referring further questions to the county and the state officials. After the company representatives stopped communicating with the city and council officials, they got a court order to shut down the operation, euthanize the mice, and clean the biological materials. Officials thought that would be the end of it. Then, on July 25th, the Mid-Valley Times, a local online news outlet, published a story about the lab that quoted court documents saying the representative of Prestige Biotech, which makes pregnancy and coronavirus tests sold online, told officials in March that the mice had been genetically modified to catch and carry the virus that causes COVID-19. That was likely a miscommunication by Prestige Biotech representing Wang Zhang, whose English is not perfect, Harper said. Oh, wow, miscommunication there. She stated that the mice were bred, and then she hesitated and said they were modified to carry COVID. Harper said Zhang told her and other officials after the lab was shut down. She added Wang stopped cooperating with them. Wang's comment prompted Reedley authorities to hire Nina Han, a vet formerly contracted by Lawrence Berkeley. All right, there's too many goddamn these. Like, I'm about to just skip over all the. After the Mid-Valley Times article, national media outlets published stories saying the lab had bioengineered mice to carry COVID-19. A Fresno city is saying, this is a damn COVID-19 testing strip, please. Basically, all of this is not giving the act of responsibility. Like, I'm going over the California Public Clinical. If your attention span lasted this long in the video, hit the like button. Probably not. There's only like 10 people gonna watch this video anyway, but however, I find this stuff to be important. I know maybe I'm just crazy. But anyway, according to the report, the committee of the biolab was owned by J.B. Zhu, a Chinese national with links to his country's governing Communist Party, who operated through a number of companies, including Prestige Biotech. So he operated through a number of companies, including Prestige Biotech Incorporated. In October, Zhu was arrested on suspicion of manufacturing and distributing misbranded medical devices in violation of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, and making false statements to the FDA. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with poison. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that with the poison. If convicted, he faces a maximum of 3 damn years in prison. Probably got bail right now. Y'all want to know what's crazy about this situation for real is that they allowed to do whatever to us. That's all this story. That's what you really need to get through this story right here. They allowed to do whatever to us. They allowed to open up experiments on people. They allowed to, and like only one person get arrested, 1 or 2. Who was the people behind the damn organization? Now, I mean, out those names, put those people out there. What was the organization really used for? Actually tell the people, actually investigate, actually show us the evidence, show us the rats, show us the, you know what I'm saying? Like, actually put the pictures, the photos, make a Law and Order video of that or some shit, make a damn episode of that and actually show, and not no damn, not no TV show, but really show us on the news what's really going on out here. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to be a fearmonger or nothing, but stuff like this is going on behind the scenes. Y'all don't even know. They hardly even knew what the hell it was about at first. And then y'all expect the people to just hear stories like this. Y'all throw it on the news, make us hate China. You know what I'm saying? Start this little mental war that we got going on and make things worse. This was 2 years ago. Where's the update? Y'all done feared everybody. Y'all done told everybody that this happened. Now, where was the update? Why was or the investigation, like maybe the investigation led to nothing, but at least let us know, because we just remember the story. How many of y'all remember the story? But nobody wanted to tell us what happened after. You feel me? I just wanted to know what happened after, and I still hardly know what happened after. You feel me? Like the Ari Ball got arrested, but who was the people working for him? Was it true? Like, was it really this genetic warfare, some type of warfare going on? But anyway, man, what's your thoughts on the situation? Nobody lasted this long in the video. That is damn near impossible. You must be bored, because I know I am. That's why I made the video. Peace.